Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. If you're sitting there scrolling through your phone, dreaming of a life that's handed to you on a silver platter, then this speech isn't for you. But if you're ready to stop being a victim of your own excuses and start forging yourself into something unstoppable, a weapon that cuts through every obstacle in its path, then listen close. Today, we're talking about building yourself into a weapon. Not some toy gun that fizzles out at the first sign of trouble, but a precision instrument of destruction against mediocrity, failure, and weakness. Andrew Tate here, and I'm telling you straight, your body, your mind, your entire existence is raw material. It's time to hammer it, sharpen it, and unleash it. Imagine this. You're in the arena of life, and the bell rings. Everyone else is flailing around like headless chickens, complaining about the rules, the weather, the economy, whatever nonsense they can cling to. But you're locked, loaded, and lethal. Building yourself into a weapon starts with the foundation, your body. Don't give me that crap about not having time for the gym. Time? You make time, or you make excuses. Hit the weights like your life depends on it, because it does. Push until your muscles scream and your lungs burn. That's where the real you emerges. I wake up at dawn. No alarm needed, because discipline isn't a choice, it's a weapon. Picture a sword being tempered in fire. That's you in the squat rack, forging steel from flab. Hook yourself on this truth. If your body's soft, your mind follows. Build the armor first and watch how the world bends to your will. But a weapon without a sharp mind is just dead weight. Sharpen your intellect like a blade on a whetstone. Read voraciously. Books on strategy, war, success, not that fluffy self-help garbage that tells you to visualize your dreams. No, execute them. Study the greats, Sun Tzu, Machiavelli, the men who conquered empires while others slept. Cut out the noise, social media dopamine hits, endless Netflix binges. They're rust on your edge. I surround myself with winners, not whiners, because iron sharpens iron. Ask yourself this hook. What if your biggest enemy isn't out there, but the lazy voice in your head whispering tomorrow? Silence it. Train your brain for battle. Meditate on victory. Visualize domination, then go take it. A dull mind gets stabbed in the back. A honed one strikes first. Now let's talk heart, the fuel that turns a tool into a terror. Discipline isn't about feeling good. It's about doing the hard thing when everything screams quit. I've been broke, betrayed, locked up, but I never broke. Why? Because I built my spirit into an unbreakable core. Face your fears head on. Public speaking terrifies most. I own the stage. Rejection crushes the weak. I use it as rocket fuel. Hook into this. Every scar is a story of survival. Every failure a lesson in lethality. Surround yourself with accountability. Brothers who call you out, not coddle you. Fast when you want to feast. Wake when you want to sleep. Grind when you want to coast. That's how you weaponize your will. The world is a jungle full of predators and prey. Choose your side, and don't forget the arsenal, skills that make you indispensable. Learn to negotiate like a shark, invest like a king, communicate like a commander, stack them high, coding, languages, sales, whatever dominates your field. I turned my knowledge into millions while others chased pennies. Hook, if you're not learning daily, you're dying slowly. Adapt or get left in the dust. Build alliances, not enemies, but always be ready to go lone wolf if needed. Your network is your ammunition. Load up, listen up, picture this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, wind whipping your face, heart pounding like a war drum, and below you lies the abyss of mediocrity that swallows dreamers whole. One step back, and you're safe in the comfort of excuses. One leap forward, and you ignite the fire that forges legends. That's the choice right now. Stay soft and irrelevant, or dive into the flames of discipline. To build a body that's not just fit, but a weapon, unbreakable, unstoppable, designed to dominate every battlefield life throws at you. No more hiding behind, I'm too busy, or it's genetics. Those are the lies weak men tell themselves to justify a lifetime of regret. Andrew Tate doesn't buy that garbage, and neither should you. Your body is the first fortress you construct. The raw steel hammered in the gym's unrelenting forge, where every sweat-drenched session strips away the flab of laziness and reveals the warrior beneath. Hook into this reality. If your physique crumbles under a flight of stairs, how do you expect to conquer the mountains of ambition? Start today. Drag yourself to the iron paradise at dawn when the world still slumbers in defeat. Grab those weights like they're the chains of your former slavery and lift with the fury of a man escaping his cage. Squats that make your quads scream, deadlifts that test your grip on destiny, push-ups until your arms betray you. That's the alchemy, brother. Transmuting pain into power. I remember my early days broken, battered, but I chose the barbell over the bed every morning. Why? Because a disciplined body doesn't just look good. It commands the room, turns heads, and silences doubters before they open their mouths. Imagine walking into a negotiation, shoulders broad, posture like a king. Opponents fold because they sense the predator in you, not the prey. But don't stop at the basics. Elevate it to elite warfare. Fuel your machine with clean protein, greens that sharpen your edge, and water that quenches the thirst of champions. Ditch the junk that dulls your blade. Track your progress like a general maps his conquests. Measure, adjust, attack harder. Hook yourself on this truth. What if every mirror glance becomes a reminder of your evolution, from fragile to formidable? Rest days. They're for recovery, not retreat. Use them to stretch, mobilize, and mentally rehearse the next assault. Surround yourself with like-minded beasts, gym partners who push you beyond limits, not friends who drag you to the couch. In my world, weakness is the enemy, and the gym is the front line where you declare war on it daily. Now, scale it up. Incorporate functional fury, pull-ups for that V-taper authority, sprints for explosive speed that leaves competitors gasping. Cardio isn't punishment. It's the endurance that lets you outlast the storm when others quit at the first raindrop. Feel the burn? That's progress etching itself into your DNA. Professional athletes, CEOs, conquerors, they all know a sculpted body isn't vanity, it's strategy. It boosts testosterone, floods your system with confidence, and wires your brain for victory. Hook. Ever wonder why the elite move with such certainty? It's the body they've built, a living testament to their refusal to yield. Commit to 6 days a week, no shortcuts, and watch how it ripples outward. Better sleep, sharper focus, magnetic energy that draws opportunities like iron to a magnet. Discipline in the gym bleeds into every corner of existence. Miss a workout? That's a chink in your armor, inviting failure to strike. But chain them together, weeks turning to months, and you emerge transformed, veins popping like rivers of resolve, abs carved from consistency, a presence that demands respect. This isn't about six-pack aesthetics. It's about becoming the weapon that slices through excuses, poverty, and doubt. Rise, grind, repeat. Your body, once a liability, now your greatest asset in the relentless pursuit of greatness. Imagine the fog of modern life rolling in thick and suffocating, endless notifications pinging like enemy fire, social media scrolls sucking your soul into a vortex of envy and distraction, leaving you stumbling blind through decisions that should make you a king. But what if you could slice through that chaos with a mind so sharp it predicts the storm before the clouds gather, turning every hurdle into a stepping stone to empire? That's the power of a honed intellect, brothers. Not some fluffy daydream, but a lethal blade forged in the quiet hours of deliberate study. Andrew Tate knows this intimately. I've outmaneuvered billionaires and bureaucrats not with luck, but with a brain trained to dissect, anticipate, and destroy. Ditch the digital poison. Today, your mind is the command center of your conquests, and if it's dull, you're already defeated before the battle begins. Hook into this brutal truth. A cluttered mind is a clogged rifle. Potent potential wasted on jams and misfires. Start by auditing your inputs like a general inspects his troops. Cut the crap. Delete apps that feed you filtered fantasies. Mute the voices of complainers and reclaim those stolen hours. Replace them with the war manuals of the immortals. Sun Tzu's Art of War to master deception and timing. Machiavelli's The Prince to navigate power's shadows without getting burned. Read like your future depends on it, because it does. I devour a book a week, underlining strategies that I've weaponized in boardrooms and bedrooms alike. Picture this, you're negotiating a deal, and while they ramble in circles, your sharpened synapses spot the weakness in their offer, flipping it to your advantage in seconds. That's not magic, that's mental mastery. The edge that separates survivors from conquerors. Elevate it further. Don't just read, apply, journal your insights daily, turning abstract wisdom into actionable artillery. Study history's titans, Alexander's campaigns for bold execution, Rockefeller's monopolies for ruthless efficiency. Hook yourself on this question. What if ignorance is the chain keeping you broke and knowledge the key to vaults of wealth? Surround your intellect with stimuli that stretch it. Podcasts from peak performers, debates that force you to defend your positions, even chess to simulate life's endless gambits. In my rise from nothing, I pored over economics texts while others chased trends, emerging with foresight that turned markets into my playground. A razor-sharp mind doesn't react, it orchestrates, converting chaos into calculated chaos for your foes. Now, build the habits that keep the blade keen. Dedicate prime hours post-workout when endorphins amplify absorption to deep dives without interruption. Question everything. Why does society push comfort over competence? Use logic to dismantle limiting beliefs, replacing them with frameworks for dominance. Engage in deliberate practice, solve puzzles, analyze case studies, role-play high-stakes scenarios. Hook, ever seen a dull knife struggle through tough hide? That's you without mental acuity, hacking at opportunities that slip away. Professionals in every arena, traders spotting trends, leaders inspiring legions, thrive because their minds cut clean, leaving mediocrity in shreds. Track your growth, weekly reviews of what you've learned, how it shifted your game. This isn't passive learning, it's aggressive evolution, wiring neurons for victory. Integrate it across domains. Financial acumen to build empires, psychological insight to read rooms like open books, strategic planning to plot multi-year assaults on your goals. I turned esoteric knowledge into tangible triumphs, real estate flips, brand empires, because a superior intellect exploits angles others miss. Feel the thrill as clarity emerges from confusion, decisions flowing like a well-oiled machine, distractions fade, focus locks in, and suddenly, obstacles that once loomed like mountains become mere speed bumps. Your mind, once a foggy mess, now a precision instrument, carving paths through the wilderness of uncertainty toward unchallenged supremacy. Visualize the storm hitting full force, lightning cracking the sky, waves crashing like the doubts in your head, threatening to drag you under into the depths of despair where most men drown in self-pity. But you stand tall, chest out, eyes locked on the horizon, because a true warrior doesn't cower. He channels that chaos into an inferno that tempers his heart into steel. Fear and failure aren't your executioners. They're the blacksmiths forging your unbreakable spirit, turning every bruise into battle scars that scream resilience. Andrew Tate has stared down the abyss, bankruptcies that could have buried me, betrayals sharper than knives, cages that tested my soul. Yet I emerged not just surviving, but savage, stronger, hungrier, a force that devours obstacles. If your heart quivers at the first whisper of risk, you're already prey. Steal it now, or watch your dreams get devoured alive. Hook into this raw fact. Every empire rises from ruins, yours included. Embrace rejection like a badge of honor. That no from a deal, a lover, or a doubter. It's rocket fuel propelling you higher than comfort ever could. I pitched ideas that got laughed out of rooms, only to circle back and own the industry later, because failure isn't final, it's feedback for the fierce. Train your heart in the trenches. Seek out discomfort daily. Cold showers that jolt your nerves awake. Conversations that expose your vulnerabilities. Risks that make your pulse race. Picture the weak wilting under pressure, folding like cheap cards, while you rise fiercer, your spirit a fortress unbreached. Hook yourself on this challenge. What if the pain you avoid is the very forge creating the legend you're meant to be? I've fasted through feasts, pushed through exhaustion when quitting sang sweetly, and each time my resolve thickened like armor plating. Build that unyielding core through deliberate exposure. Face public speaking if it terrifies you. Grab the mic, voice steady, owning the silence until it bows to your command. Lost a fight? Analyze, adapt, strike back harder. In my world, setbacks are setups for comebacks. I turn prison walls into mental gyms, emerging with a heart that laughs at adversity. Surround yourself with trials, not cushions. Mentors who roast your flaws. Routines that demand sacrifice. Rejection's sting fades when you reframe it. Not a defeat, but a filter, weeding out the unworthy paths to reveal the golden one. Hook, ever notice how the unbreakable seem untouchable? It's their hearts, scarred and seasoned, turning pressure into power that crushes what breaks others. Now, ritualize the resilience. Journal the fires you've walked through, losses that lit your path forward, and revisit them when doubt creeps in. Meditate on mortality, life's short, excuses shorter. Use fear as a spur, not a shackle. I've bet everything on hunches that bombed, only to pivot with precision born from those blasts. Professional conquerors, athletes rebounding from injuries, entrepreneurs from bankruptcies, thrive because they alchemize agony into ambition. Feel the shift, heart pounding not in panic, but in purpose, failures fueling a fire that warms your empire. Integrate gratitude for the grind. It steels you against complacency, keeping your spirit vigilant and voracious. This heart of steel doesn't just endure, it empowers every move. Decisions bolder, risks calculated yet fearless, presence magnetic because authenticity radiates from within. Distractions dissolve, clarity cuts deep, and suddenly the world that once intimidated now kneels. You've got the blueprint. Embrace the hits, rise from the ashes, forge ahead with a spirit that conquers realms others only whisper about in awe. Envision a battlefield where the victors aren't the strongest arms or the loudest voices, but those armed to the teeth with skills so refined they dictate the terms of every engagement, turning scraps into fortunes, rivals into allies, and ordinary days into opportunities seized with iron grip. Without an arsenal of elite abilities, you're just a target, full of untapped potential that rusts away in irrelevance. Load up now, stack those tools of dominance, and watch yourself reshape the world like a master architect dismantling outdated empires. Andrew Tate built his throne not on inheritance or luck, but on a relentless pursuit of mastery, from negotiation tactics that close multi-million deals to wealth-building strategies that multiply assets overnight. If you're still winging it through life, hoping talent alone will carry you, wake up. Skills are the ammunition that makes you indispensable. The difference between begging for scraps and commanding the feast. Hook into this undeniable edge. What good is raw ambition without the precision to execute? Start stacking today. Prioritize negotiation like it's oxygen, because every interaction is a transaction. I honed mine in smoke-filled rooms and high-stakes poker games, learning to read micro-expressions, counter-offers with surgical strikes, and walk away richer every time. Practice it. Role-play scenarios with a mirror or a trusted sparring partner, dissecting what sways decisions and what seals them. Hook yourself on this reality. Imagine turning a no into a yes that catapults your income because the elite don't ask, they architect the outcome. Extend to wealth building. Dive into investing blueprints, from real estate flips that generate passive rivers of revenue to stock plays that exploit market blind spots. I started with nothing, studying compound interest like a sacred text, turning modest stakes into empires while others squandered on vices. Broaden the arsenal. Master communication that commands crowds, crafting words that inspire loyalty or intimidate competitors. Public speaking, it's not a gift, it's a grind. Join Toastmasters, record yourself dissecting speeches of legends like Churchill. Refine until your voice echoes authority. Sales skills follow suit. Understand psychology's levers, scarcity, reciprocity, social proof, and deploy them to convert leads into loyal legions. Hook, ever watched a room shift when a skilled orator enters? That's power you can claim, transforming pitches into partnerships that propel your trajectory. Don't neglect technical edges. Learn coding basics to automate drudgery, digital marketing to amplify your brand, or even foreign languages to unlock global gates. In my ascent, I coded simple bots for trading edges and negotiated in multiple tongues to outflank international foes. Each skill a brick in the fortress of self-sufficiency. Make it systematic, dedicate blocks, 2 hours daily, to deliberate acquisition, tracking progress like a war log. Online courses from platforms like Coursera or Masterclass, gold mines for the discipline, devour them, then apply immediately. Network with virtuosos, shadow a top closer, apprentice under a financial wizard, absorb their arsenals through osmosis. Hook this challenge. What if your next breakthrough hinges on that one skill you're delaying? Professionals across fields, CEOs closing mergers, athletes optimizing performance, artists monetizing mastery, thrive because they stack relentlessly, becoming Swiss Army knives in a world of single-use tools. Feel the momentum build. Each new competency compounds, creating synergies where negotiation fuels investments, communication amplifies sales, and all converge to make you untouchable. This loaded arsenal doesn't just equip you, it evolves you. Decisions sharper, opportunities magnetized, presence elevated to legend status. Distractions scatter. Focus funnels into feats that redefine limits, and suddenly the world bends not to force, but to your finely tuned expertise. Picture the dawn breaking like a silent alarm, the world still cloaked in shadows while you rise, not as a slave to the clock, but as its master, seizing the day before it seizes you, transforming ordinary routines into a relentless machine of momentum that crushes complacency and catapults you toward unchallenged dominance. Daily habits aren't fluffy suggestions. They're the hidden triggers of transformation, the daily disciplines that weaponize your life, pulling you from the victimhood of someday into the victory of now. Andrew Tate lives this truth. I wake at 4 a.m., no excuses, no negotiation, because in the quiet grind of consistent action lies the power to control your destiny. Eliminate laziness like the poison it is, and watch your empire rise from the ashes of average. If your mornings dissolve into snooze button surrender, you're handing the reins to chaos. Reclaim them today or forever chase shadows of potential. Hook into this ironclad principle. What if the hours you waste scrolling are the very bullets your competitors are loading? Start with the wake-up ritual. Alarm blaring like a battle cry, feet hitting the floor in defiance of drowsiness, cold water splashing your face to jolt the warrior awake. No coffee crutches or phone checks. Instead, hydrate, stretch, and prime your mind with a quick win, 5 minutes of visualization where you see yourself conquering the day. I chain this to a gratitude blast. Acknowledge the body that serves you, the opportunities ahead, forging a mindset that attacks rather than ambles. From there, unleash the grind. Block your calendar like a fortress. First hour for deep work, no distractions, tackling the dragon task that moves the needle most. Emails? Later. Social media? Banned until victory's claimed. Hook yourself on this shift. Imagine productivity surging as habits align, turning scattered energy into a laser that incinerates obstacles. Extend the weaponization. Meals become fuel depots. Prep high-protein powerhouses the night before. No drive-through detours that dull your edge. Exercise slots in sacred, a non-negotiable assault on weakness, whether it's weights or a brisk run that leaves excuses gasping. Evening wind down, a review ritual, what crushed it, what needs sharpening. Journal it ruthlessly, then cut the cord. Lights out by 10 p.m., phone silenced, trading Netflix numbness for restorative sleep that recharges the beast. Laziness lurks in the gaps, snack binges, mindless chats, so audit and assassinate, replace them with micro habits like reading 10 pages of strategy or practicing breath work to steal your calm under fire. In my ascent, these chains of consistency turn sporadic hustles into systematic success. Millions amassed because I treated habits as holy wars, not optional chores. Make it elite. Track streaks like a scorecard of supremacy, apps or notebooks logging the wins that build unbreakable momentum. Accountability partners? Essential. Report your daily dominates to a brother in arms, letting their scrutiny sharpen your resolve. Hook this provocative truth. Ever seen a champion born from binge watching? No. They're sculpted in the forge of fidelity to the routine, where small acts compound into seismic shifts. Professionals who dominate, entrepreneurs scaling empires, athletes shattering records, do so because their days are engineered for excellence, habits the scaffolding supporting skyscrapers of achievement. Feel the control cascade, energy stabilizes, decisions accelerate, and that nagging voice of procrastination silenced forever. This arsenal of routines doesn't just structure your time, it sovereigns your soul. Distractions banished, purpose pulsing through every hour, propelling you from reactive drifter to proactive destroyer of limits. Feel the surge building inside you like a storm about to break. Body forged, mind sharpened, heart steeled, skills loaded, habits locked in. Now it's time to unleash the full weapon within, charging into the fray, not as a participant, but as the apex predator who rewrites the rules of engagement and claims ultimate victory as your birthright. This isn't the end of preparation, it's the ignition. The moment you integrate every element into a symphony of supremacy, transforming from a scattered soldier into a one-man army that shatters illusions and leaves the battlefield littered with the debris of doubt. Andrew Tate embodies this fusion, I've woven these threads into my core, turning personal wars into global conquests, because the greatest fight isn't against the world, it's within, claiming your power before it claims you. If you've built the pieces but hesitate to deploy, you're arming the enemy. Unleash now or watch potential evaporate into regret. Hook into this explosive truth. What if the weapon you've crafted sits idle while others wield theirs to glory? Begin the integration ritual at dawn. Stand before the mirror, survey your evolved form, muscles etched from discipline, eyes burning with strategic fire, chest swelling with resilient resolve. Affirm it aloud. I am the weapon forged for victory. Then charge into action. Tackle the day's prime objective with a full arsenal. Mind anticipating pitfalls. Heart pushing through resistance. Skills executing flawlessly under habit's steady rhythm. I start my assaults this way, blending a brutal workout with tactical planning, emerging not drained, but dynamited with purpose. So stand up now. Look in the mirror and see the weapon staring back, not yet complete, but damn close. You've got the blueprint, body forged in iron, mind edged like a razor, heart armored in resolve, skills loaded and ready. Go build it. No more waiting for permission, no more half measures. The war for your life starts today, and you're the deadliest force in it. Get after it. Become the weapon that wins.